I was diagnosed when I was 40 years old, just a routine mammogram. I actually felt a lump and went and had it checked out, had a biopsy that day, and everything progressed very quickly.
They left me alone in the room, and there's this little flip chart about breast cancer, and it said stage 1 through stage 4, and so I automatically equated it with A, B, C, and failing.
That was real scary at the time. I had a little girl that was starting 2nd grade, a son that was 4, and my youngest one had just turned 2.
We stopped the meeting and talked to the nurse and said, we need the experts. We need the people who know exactly what to do and see this rare thing over and over again. And she says, it's at IU. That's where you need to go.
We just knew it was right when we got here. They just welcomed us with open arms and made us feel so comfortable.
What's incredibly important to know about this disease is that this is a disease that affects over 200,000 women a year in the United States.
1 in 8 women are affected by this disease, and so you don't have to hunt far to find someone who's very committed for a very personal reason.
The involvement of the Vera Bradley Foundation has been crucial to us. It's crucial because it allows us to do things that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do.
100% of what we raise goes directly to the Indiana University Cancer Center in Indianapolis.
The dollars that Vera Bradley is putting now into research is going to save, I don't know if it's wrong for me to say it's going to be millions of lives someday.
All of the dollars that we raise, a large portion of it comes directly from Vera Bradley. Barbara and Patricia, when they started the foundation, felt very strongly that it's the research that's really going to put an end to the suffering and the death that's caused by this disease.
The clinical trial is working for me right now. We're seeing reduction in the size of the tumors that are in my lungs.
A researcher might have a really good idea, but they need to vet that idea a little bit. So it's our dollars that are seed money. They're dollars that allow the researchers to get started with an idea, test it, and see if it's really something that should be pursued in a bigger way.
At some very important part early in the career of every researcher, there's funds that allow you to get from that very early idea, that first passion that you have about the research, into something much larger, and the Vera Bradley Foundation allows us to do that.
We're seeing such fabulous results from the drugs that I've been on for the past year and a half that I can't imagine the thousands and thousands of women that these drugs can actually help.
I've told my oncology fellows for years that cancer is not going to be cured in the laboratory, it's not going to be cured in the clinic, it's going to be cured at the water cooler. It's going to be cured by researchers coming together, bouncing ideas off each other, creating something new, something different.
They have created drugs and found drugs that can keep people, like in my situation, alive for years. I may now see my grandchildren.
The foundation hosts the Vera Bradley Women's Golf and Tennis Tournament every year in Fort Wayne. This year we're going to take that event on the road, and we're going to host another Vera Bradley Women's Golf and Tennis Tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina.
It's amazing to see the love and the care and how they pay it forward.
Sometimes a flood of letters will come in and it will be memorial contributions. But a lot of times there's going to be a note in there with that check, and people are honored to be able to give that gift, and they feel good about taking that sadness and turning it into something productive.
I was at my church group, there's the casserole committee, when you're sick, and I look too good to get casseroles anymore. So I decided I better not wear makeup to church anymore.
When I was going through all the worst parts of chemo, I always came in with my hair done, lipstick on, makeup on, dressed, and they're like, you always look so good. And I'm like, well, why would you not want to look good? I said, if I ever come in here and I don't look good and I don't have lipstick on or something, then there's something really wrong.
Ultimately, of course, what we'd like to have are better means of detection and ultimately better means of preventing the cancer. If we could, at some point in time, reach a point where breast cancer would be just a distant memory because we prevented it from occurring in the same way that we prevent smallpox or polio, that would be a huge advance for the field and for women everywhere.
What's keeping me alive is science and the research that is inventing and coming up with new ideas. If we run out of ideas, I run out of my life.